Mashane Politically Incorrect, I was with Thandi Moraka. Thandi Moraka is a very capable cadre coming from the ANC Youth League, of course. She spent a lot of time in the ANC Youth League and she graduated. She made many, and she spent a lot of time in the Limpopo legislature herself, and then she graduated to national politics with the new dispensation. She's the Deputy Minister of DIRCO. So I thought this is an opportunity to ask her about the females who came back from a mission and they were pregnant. Circumstances around in that. Is there a statement that they've issued that we have not seen? Because I've not seen a statement, and I tried to check. I could not see the statement because I wanted to make a story about it. And it's because I'm very cautious when talking to women because I need to understand what is it that they do, so we answer them. But then, of course, I came across the utterances of the chairperson in Parliament, who she loves them as heroes for having gone that. So, and I'm assuming, of course, this could be because they've already assessed the situation, if it's all fine. Because one of the things is, what if the females, because this is what social media, what if the females were I don't even know how to say it because, working on eggshells. What if they were victims from their colleagues, victims from other civilians in Congo, or victims from opposition? We do not know. And of course, the identity of these women have not been said. But I took an opportunity to ask her, what is it? And this is her answer. Mashane Politically Incorrect will tell me what you feel about it, Eitada. Mashane Politically Incorrect, man. Jeez, man, I didn't realize how tall you were.
I am very tall, and I know I intimidate. I'm apologizing in advance.
The relationship between Namibia and South Africa, especially our past intertwined history because of our apartheid legacy, and they got independence first. They did what we almost like it's a script that we had to follow. What are the lessons as South Africa we could have learned from Namibia?
You would, of course, acknowledge that Namibia, yes, they've got their independence way before South Africa, but in that, they did not shy away from calling for the apartheid regime in South Africa to cease its operation. You would remember the sentiments of the founding father of that independence, Namibia, whom we have gathered here today to celebrate, President Sam Nujoma, who said, the independence of Namibia will be incomplete without the independence of her neighbors, meaning the independence of South Africa was also central towards what Namibia at that time was calling for. And I think it's of importance to also celebrate that ourselves and Namibia were one. We are the people of one continent. We are in the SADC region, sub-region. We are, of course, advancing similar policies because when it comes to colonial eras, we have experienced the harsh realities of what colonial eras have done to us. So it's high time that we work together now to advance our interest as individual independent countries, because without us growing our individual economies, we won't be able to address the socio-economic challenges that our people are faced with on a day-to-day basis.
On an international space, so Thabo Mbeki spoke about 40 or 400 minibus taxis that went to Namibia to go and support the elections there. And I know Namibians who carry South African IDs with pride, and they participate in. Some have even shown me on my channel that they actually voted in South Africa. The relations between the two countries, because of our intertwined oppression, I would think at the back of my mind it would be the best example of combining two countries after colonialism. Is that a far-fetched dream?
It's a far-fetched dream because where we are, we respect Namibia's sovereignty as a state, and we expect them to do the same towards us as South Africa, because as South Africa's people and also as the government of South Africa, our foreign policy is on the backdrop of respecting each and every country's constitutionalism, and also the sovereignty of those countries must be respected. So we respect Namibia, and they must also respect us. As you know, our relationship comes a long way during the era of O.R. Tambo and also during the era of Sam Nujoma as the founding fathers of our liberation movements.
Do you see unity of African countries, whether it's annexation, whether it's secession, coming together with these African countries? Do you see it as recolonization?
The unity of African people is of paramount importance, and I think South Africa is better placed to can champion that call, because you know that without the unity of us as the people of one continent, there wouldn't be anything that we achieve for the betterment of an African child. So the more we are united, the more better chance we stand to can confront any issue that can be confronting us, be it sanctions. As you know, the US is threatening us with sanctions. We will need the unity of the people of Africa, and you have heard also the Pan-African Parliament President spoke about the need for that particular unity, and the need for all of us as African people to stand behind South Africa and say, not in our name, we will not be bullied by the US under Trump's leadership.
Minister Moraka, this is the last question. Do you think South Africa has been punished for the stance that it takes across the world, whether it's Palestine, whether it's DRC? Do you think the West is punishing South Africa?
You must know that whether punishment or not, the thrust of our foreign policy is about anti-imperialism and pan-Africanism. So if we go to any country or any region in the world and you experience issues of conflicts, we will always call for the peaceful or other mediating factors towards resolving those conflicts, and it will have to be peaceful talks that happens between the two conflicting parties. So we really need to make it a point that people appreciate where we are as the people of South Africa, because we are not waking up and calling for those peaceful resolution mechanism. You would remember President Nelson Mandela, when he took office, he said the freedom of the people of South Africa will be incomplete without the freedom of the people of Palestine. The same that is happening in DRC. You have seen our president leading the charge in the SADC Security Council, calling for the unity within the Eastern DRC. So wherever there are conflicts, South Africa will always call for peaceful resolution to those conflicts.
Has DIRCO been in contact with any civilians from South Africa who are maybe in the Great Lakes region who are fearful of their lives?
You know, our mandate is to make it a point that we lead in that particular process of making sure that where there are areas where people need to be given refugee status to our country, DIRCO is always at the forefront of facilitating for such to happen, or such immunities to be given to those people who are fleeing for their lives from their respective countries. And I think we've done a lot in that regard. You have seen in the DRC, you have seen everywhere where there are conflicts, we are accommodating those people in the country, giving them a refugee status. And DIRCO is always utilizing its missions abroad to make it a point that those things are being achieved.
Is there a statement to explain, whether through government or any of the department, to explain the condition of the females who returned back from South Africa? The state of their pregnancy, was it incurred during a forceful mean, or it was just a mission gone wrong in their personal capacity?
No, that one, I don't think we have to leave it to those individual women. You know, South Africa's government is fighting this issue of gender-based violence and femicide that is affecting mainly women in our society. So if it happens anywhere in the world or anywhere in the continent, South Africa will always voice its voice out to make it a point that women and children are more safer in those respective areas. So statements are released every time when incidences of this nature happen. Of course, DIRCO has released a statement, and also the Ministry of Women and Children and Youth also have released a statement. So it's up to you as the people of the media to follow through those statements and see what is captured there.
Moraka, thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.